Good, good enough.
Sorry, everything's over the box.
Call to order, Elkhorn 18 minutes. Of the whole meeting agenda, December 8th, 2025, roll call.
Commissioner Hughes.
Here.
Commissioner Livermore.
Here.
Commissioner Nelson.
Here.
Commissioner Rondo.
Here.
Commissioner Seaver.
Here. Pledge of allegiance. Last word.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Brief public comment. We have three public comment, going once. Comment going twice. Closed public comment. Agenda. Anybody got any changes to the agenda? Recommendations? Consents? Okay, number 6, 2026. Now, financial, opener for AFSCME. Community. Good. What do we have here?
That's the court staff.
Yeah. There were, on the court staff, we offered them 2.5 and they declined. But they never did come back with an actual offer back, did they?
3. They asked for 3.
They asked for 3.
No. We were offering the other ones that are comp for Union 3. Last year, the court staff got an added day off, June 18th, which comes out to 4.5%. So I didn't think that was fair to the other unions to give that they don't get 0.5%. It's quite flat. So that was my thought on it. Mike was, you wanted.
After we sat with them and we talked about it, and the chief judge was here to go over their side of things with us. In my opinion, it boiled down to, we've got work to do next year when we open full negotiations. Because as a wage reopener, we can't really deal with the fact that they've gotten an extra day off. And it turns out that a lot, if not all of the staff doesn't actually take that day either. They're actually here still working. So we need a lot of clarification next year. So my recommendation was to just go with
The what?
3% instead of the 2.5. Comes out to, what we figure, a little over $200 a person. Joe, I don't remember what the actual overall number, do you happen to remember off the top of your head about what it was?
A little over 2,000.
They have a little over $2,000 in total difference for the year. So that was my recommendation, is that we go ahead, give them the 3% for the wages for next year, but then if you understand that we've got some serious work to do. And then we will have to start, especially those negotiations, well before we start the other ones next year, because it needs to be a 3-way discussion, not just a 2-way. We need to have the judges involved, because they can show part of their stuff too, so.
Oh, it doesn't need.
I don't throw a wrench into it, but you need to have the prosecutor involved too. I mean, my employees are caught in the middle of all this.
Exactly. And they
Yeah.
should be.
Your employees shouldn't be in the middle of this one.
I agree, and I agree. That's my message to the board. I'm hoping, if I can be heard, I'm hoping that in this next negotiation, we finally fix this.
That's what I hope, but that is not a union, that's not a board thing, that's a union thing. The unions have to agree to let the ones leave one and go into the other.
And I'm not, and I've explored the accuracy of that, and we have to be very careful with what we say here as
Right.
employers, because we don't want to run afoul of any anti-union prohibitions or anything like that. But I believe there is a mechanism, and I believe it's much more simple than what we thought it is. But we have some wrongs that we have to right here as it relates to the prosecuting attorney's staff right now, the state of Michigan is valuing the administrative assistant in the public defender's office at $25.12 an hour. My office manager, who supervises another employee and has been working here for close to 25 years, makes $24 an hour. And that is not right. And my victims advocate gets paid less than the victims advocate in Manistee. And our dockets, I had to print the dockets the other day for Alger and Manistee.
Do they wanna go work in Manistee?
Here's Manistee. I don't want them to go work in Manistee, but they do. They have every reason to. This is Manistee. This is Alger. Now, a large portion of these crimes are victim crimes that our guys are handling right here. And they're getting paid less than the guy that's handling this. So, thank you for listening. I'm not trying to cause anything. I'm frustrated by it. It's not your
How
fault.
many of those are local?
I don't know. I'm not allowed to do that. I'm not allowed, I mean, I can get that information, but I can't make a decision based on that information because it's a Sixth Amendment violation. If I start making decisions based on where somebody's from. But the issue is that, and I don't want, I want to make sure that the court staff doesn't think I'm coming down on them at all, because court staff knows I have tremendous respect for the work that they do. But I'm only familiar with what my guys do, and that's why I'm advocating for them. Because, I mean, just for example, Corey our victim's advocate was here yesterday. Yesterday was Sunday. That's a violation of the union contract. I told her she had to be here and she showed up. So it's because I had to. There was no other choice. It was do that or be held in contempt of court, or a bad guy goes free. So no other office that is outside of the sheriff's office has those kinds of restrictions, those kinds of must do's right now. And we're restricted by the law. And I know nobody questions the work that they're doing, but they are, I mean, Ray, you have the best in the state right here. Not just me talking. She won the statewide staff achievement award last year for being the best in the state. So I want them to make more money, and I want the board to want them to make more money, and I want to take action on this year. Like this year, as in this next FY.
Going on, I don't want them to drop in the middle of it. I want them to get whatever raise is due to them, and that's all.
And I think you know how we feel on that.
I think
Yeah.
I mean, as a committee,
Yeah.
as a committee that would recommend that to the board, we've already discussed the fact that, and the chief judge sat there and
I think she was.
they don't have that same control over your two employees as they do the rest of the court staff.
No.
So there's no reason they need to be in the other unit. They don't need to be in the court staff unit.
But I believe that's.
So, but we have to take care of that
That's
during
something
next
else.
year's negotiations.
And I think a large part of my issue too is the hours. Like this would be much closer to where we need to be if they were working 40 hours a week. And I need them for sure.
Show me the money.
I hear you. I hear you. I'm not the funding unit. I'm the prosecutor. I say what the prosecutor needs. That's what I do.
We can only bring in so much money. My vote will never be to put another millage out there for anything. So we taxed enough. I don't know what the board's feeling on that is. But
I agree with you,
we
Commissioner.
can only have so much money, and there's only so much for labor.
I hear you.
You can split it between 100 people. You want split it between 90 people, you have more people get more, so everybody wants more people working with more. And
I think the other union is at 40 or 38.5%.
believe me, when I first got on this board, I was surprised that full time was 35 hours. And then I find out it's actually 30 hours, I believe. It's full time.
And I've said
I would-
piece on it, and I think the next FY, if there's a solution, we need to jump at it with the prosecution.
That's next year.
Next FY, and I appreciate the comments of Commissioner Middleton as it relates to beginning the negotiation right now. Let's get going on it now, because it's gonna be complicated.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yes,
You guys clarify what's the difference between the TPOAM courthouse employees and the AFSCME?
Exactly what we're doing.
listen. The one that I have some right now is the court staff.
Okay,
The other one is courthouse Staff.
Okay.
I see. And the
Took
court
me a minute to wrap
staff,
my brain.
the court staff. Administer does not have to apply by personnel policy of policy.
And
Their
so,
personnel policy is with the chief judge.
So we're
The
considered
county is
full
only,
employers.
yeah, we're the fiduciary of it.
Okay.
We can deal with that part of it, that's it. And they're stuck in the prosecutor's office. They're
So,
passed
if I can interrupt for a
They're
second,
under-
if you don't mind,
on the
gentlemen,
personnel policy. So.
can you? No,
It
maybe.
shouldn't be there.
It's one of those things we need to.
But now back to get off of that.
Back to where
Back
we're
to
at.
the agenda.
Right. What it is, that was me and Mike had, I think we're on two different pages, so we're bringing up for everybody else. You know, it's just, I think it.
That they only got 3%. When core staff's getting, they want 3% and they already got a day off, which if you do the math, it's a 0.5%. So I just looked at, to be fair. You take a 0.5% off of the core staff at 2.5, they get 2.5 plus a day off. And the other staffs will get 3%, because a day off is a big bargaining tool that we didn't have a choice of.
You don't have a choice in
Nope.
giving them that day off?
No, that's court.
Not according to our civil attorneys,
Alright.
That's not the whole courthouse, it's just.
just
Staff.
court staff,
Oh, I thought that.
which they have not historically taken the day off, as I was told.
We haven't
Oh.
taken the day off, and I'm not part of the union, but I'm just gonna put my 2 cents in here. We don't take the day off because we were told to keep the offices open. We can't hold court. We can't accept filings, but we've kept the offices open. So
That's our negotiated.
there's a
contract.
mandatory day off.
Yeah. She wants to speak. Sure.
So you know, we always kept the offices open. We just aren't accept, we can't have court, we can't take filings. We do, but we're not.
And we liked it because it's a day that the court's not bothering us.
Just
As if.
And we got Judge Gibson, she wants to give a little bit on this.
I just wanted to take an opportunity to thank you for letting me appear remotely. Last time I was with you, the two of you and Joel, but I was sick, obviously, and apparently I had COVID, so I didn't think you wanted me back again. At least not right now. So, but I did want to just share with you two thoughts. The first thought is I suggest that you consider offering this unit the same as you offered the other units, as well as the non unionized folks. The second is I haven't had an opportunity to talk to you about this, and this might dovetail a lot into Chairman Seaberg's comments and concerns. We need to start considering reimagining our court staff and how it's structured and things like that. I've already started those projects in the east side in Moose and Mackinac, and starting in January, I was supposed to start on the west side, and there are a lot of reasons for that, and I'm not going to bore you tonight with those reasons. But I see that as an opportunity for us to get together and talk through some of the concerns that you have, and look at how we're going to reimagine the employees with the courts, the different courts, how they're structured, to destroy the silos that are there, which is a really scary concept, and I appreciate that from the employee standpoint. But I think that I would really appreciate it if, Joel, if you could set up a time where I could speak to whoever it is that is the committee for the court folks. I know the other two counties have a court committee, and it's sometimes one, sometimes two. So I can discuss this more broadly, and then maybe during those discussions, we can always address Chair Seaberg's concerns and see how those things might actually work together instead of be at loggerheads with each other like I feel like we are right now.
I appreciate that 100%. Anytime, I'm free pretty much all winter. So. I think it just whenever Mike's got time.
Or the first Tuesday of every month, you can
Right,
knock everything out between the facilities, finance, human resources.
But if you wanna do something before that, just throw in spitball and stuff, I'm available anytime.
Okay, this would be a broader, less structured conversation about what we've done on the east side, what the plans are for the west side, which are really, I don't have them yet. But what things will look like from a broader standpoint, long term. And this goes part and parcel with the trial court funding initiative that is going on in Lansing, which is eventually going to be in our backyard quickly, and I'd rather be in front of it than behind it.
Do you think the state will be looking at funding the whole court system like the defense attorney at some point?
that is part of the trial court funding recommendations, yes. So that's I can talk to you more specifically about what that was.
As soon as you're done out of COVID, quarantine. You get, I'd be happy to listen.
If I'm unclear about whether or not I'm going to be on deck next week for circuit court. We're waiting for Mr. Steinhoff to give us some direction or not. And but if I am up there next week, I should be clear by next week. I'd be happy to meet with whoever wanted to meet with me and talk about it.
Thank you much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys. I know it's a tough job you guys do.
If this is gonna end up anything like the defense attorney, it's gonna save the county a whole lot of money, I believe. And this whole thing's gonna be rated out anyway. We won't have no authority on them, of them. They will be the state, the state's gonna be the one dictating their wage.
Right, and with respect to Judge Gibson, I don't think we made a position on that.
I think that's a $1.1 billion request from the Supreme Court Administrative Office. And I go to Lansing every quarter to discuss this with our people. I've been in Senator McBroom's office, I've been in Carl's office, and
Does that include the county's contribution?
I don't know the details.
So, and this is why I would like to do this in a different setting. It is a very large ask. I was on the first committee that started this, and I was on the next two committees, and my name is in that report. I'm intimately familiar with it. And I don't think it's an appropriate time to talk about it here because you need to take care of this wage reopener. That's why I was thinking it would be better to talk about it at a later time.
Yeah,
My apologies.
I don't know what everybody's thoughts is.
I was wondering, is there a time limit, what she's saying about the state?
That's gonna be a whole
That's a
nother,
whole other
Is
thing.
that 5 years from now?
yeah, that's not gonna have anything to do with.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
while we're on that subject,
I think we wanna jump off that subject and jump back to
Just back to the wages.
the wage and task in hand here. And we'll get more.
I'm definitely with you, Nick, and I know exactly.
thank you.
Any questions on the wage increase? Thoughts?
Like I said, I think my thought is if you go with the 3%, like everybody else got. You know, this is a wage reopener, it's not a day off reopener, which is, they are tied together. Completely agree with that. Judges are willing to come to the table to help work this out for next year's full negotiations. I think is very promising and something we haven't had before to my knowledge and understanding. They've never been part of the negotiation, even though they control a portion of job of the staff members. I think it's, for the amount we're talking, I think it's just the right thing to do for this year, to go with the 3%. And then everybody, we're very well aware that we have work to do for next year's negotiations to get things back in balance in the building.
I can support the 3%. There's
what I'm hearing, and also based on the meetings on Tuesday, I think our budget would support it. Without too much. Difficulty, you know, when you shuffle many things, but. I think the days off and the percent wage are two different things that need to be brought up in negotiations, and I think that can be taken care of in the future.
Is that your committee's recommendation is 3%?
We were,
Come on, bring it up there. So,
But do we need to take action on that?
yeah, it wouldn't like to, one way or the other, we can agree not to, our opener is at 2%. We agreed to open at 2% minimum. So. It's anything above, we have to go above 2% or above. If I may, if. When everybody's talking fairness of going from, this union got 3%, we should. If we're gonna start doing that every time, there should only be one union. If the unions are saying, so-and-so got 3%, I should have 3% too. If that's the case, why don't you all be one union? If everybody's gonna compare from other people all the time and other unions.
Well, I can answer that from being part of the police officers union. It's totally different jobs.
It is,
and
that's why you can't compare them.
Yeah.
it's not fair for the couple of people that are probably where they should, in the wrong union, not to be, most likely. If I may, say? Oh, sorry.
No, I was gonna make a motion.
Go ahead.
3%.
We got a second?
I'll second that.
You got a roll call on that, Joel?
Commissioner Hughes,
Yes.
Commissioner Livermore,
Yes.
Commissioner Nettleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Rondo,
Yes.
Commissioner Siebert.
No. That passes. And now we're on number 7, magistrate salary.
They were the only one, we're the only one we weren't in agreement on our
Everything
recommendation.
else was. We're looking at bringing him in with the same. We hear. The juvenile officer. With Ms. Nebel, they're gonna be. At the same, with the magistrate and her be the same wage. Doing the same job, pretty much in different courses. Any questions on that?
It's the hourly, not the salary.
He's salary.
One is salary, one's hourly, but it comes out the same.
Yeah, one's converted to an hourly rate, so it's 51,633 be a salary. If you divide it by 1820, it's not set to an hourly rate for the trooper. Used to be a confusion.
Which just adds an extra layer of confusion, because you gotta convert back and forth.
The magistrate.
Well, they're saying that
Yeah,
he's
but-
gonna stay and she's turning to a salary.
His will be a salary,
Yes,
but it'll be
but if it
equivalent.
was salary.
Yeah.
I guess you guys should have put that,
Yeah, I don't say anything about.
because he's also,
Yeah, the magistrate ain't on there.
Yeah, we didn't have an agreement on, there was nothing done.
Until, which was great, until we accepted earlier.
Right. $51, I can't remember, 6.
3390, I believe.
Oh, you snuck the update in on you.
Huh?
Yeah, that should be in there.
You just asked me for the update.
Oh, it should be in.
yeah, and they're saying
I
that,
didn't accept it
when-
until last hour.
yeah,
They accepted
1 hour ago.
An hour ago, and they accepted. Well. So,
meaning it
I
was.
should have known that. You want me to figure this out?
well, it didn't get put in here yet.
Yeah, we didn't, well, I guess we could put the two different options, but
Yeah,
we didn't really have the
So as this,
second.
so what Mick needs to know is the amount as salary. for the
51,
magistrate except. It's 51,760.
it's 77.
633, and the cents is, I believe, 90 cents, but
He's doing math.
Let me understand this. So he's on a salary,
Yeah,
but Mrs. Nebo's on hourly.
Right.
Correct. How do you put the two of them together?
You can,
the breaks down to same, about the same amount per hour.
each position has a day of work definition, the number of hours.
Yeah, they each have a number of hours that they're having to work,
Right.
so it equals out. Even though one's paid hourly and one's paid as a salary, it'll come out to the same number at the end of the year.
Is there a reason why we don't keep them both hourly? Or both salary?
They don't want it.
Well, they won't.
40 cents, sorry.
Yeah,
What is
who's in there?
If you admit when they offer me salary, I said I like parameters, I like. You know, this.
We did offer.
Oh,
It
well,
was kind of go, you know, at the real, the judge, I'm like, no, I like
I
parameters.
really ask you after you love this recycling thing, you know?
no.
Well, it's-
Right, 51,633.
There you go.
40,
Huh?
40 cents.
40 cents.
And I didn't get 40
You
cents.
didn't have the 40 cents.
My problem is, how do I vote on things I know nothing about?
I'm sorry.
Yeah. That was a half hour ago.
But you like where you are,
Structure.
okay.
So like punch it in,
You know,
punch it out.
Unless I make it too difficult for Joel, because really I know a lot of this comes down to him, but.
Good.
He told me it was okay.
In this scenario, you can see kind of how it,
Yes,
you know,
and I've always been hourly. You know, so it's kind of. But if it makes it a difficult situation, I can change it. I'm flexible, although I like parameters.
Is that complicated?
For Joel, I'll do almost anything.
Well, smack you, I'm saying.
Was she in the Navy?
that's your call. That's the board and the judge.
Any questions? Any other questions?
No, I'm sorry about that,
No,
but I didn't, I
sorry.
didn't know what's going on.
No, we had,
I certainly like to know.
We met with him last week and we couldn't come to a deal until about a half hour ago. We met with him again.
So what does that does it raise him up above? What does it do with
It
him?
makes him equal with her,
Where was he before?
47.50. And
It's
it
kind
put,
of a more than a 3% raise, isn't it?
yeah,
It is.
but it puts him still under the average of the other counties around us.
It'll still put it less than like schoolcraft's magistrate.
Boy, I hate floating where I don't know what's going on, and that's not right. Scratch my head on that. Guess onward we go, eh?
Do you need an action to approve that?
Mm-hmm.
Make a motion to approve. The salary for the magistrate.
Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Hughes,
Yes.
Commissioner Livermore,
Yes.
Commissioner Nelson,
Yes.
Commissioner Rondo,
Yes.
Commissioner Seaberg.
Yes. It passes. Now we have the executive committee consensus on wages and salary schedule. And that's the whole one on your, on this one right here. Yeah, 2%. Yeah. Everybody write down,
All the 3%ers, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you know that.
And that's an action item too?
yep,
I'll make a motion.
I'll support.
roll call.
Commissioner Hughes.
Yes.
Commissioner Livermore, Commissioner Nelson,
Yes.
Commissioner Rondo,
Yes.
Commissioner Seaberg.
Yes.
Next week.
Has number 9 courthouse building HVAC system RFPs. Just put it out for proposal for the courthouse.
So we hadn't formally requested those, eh?
Yeah,
Okay.
so just put it out till Friday and
Yeah,
then,
so I was just like, wait a minute, we've seen it, but we hadn't formally requested them.
We have to put it out there, formal request, see if anybody else wants to put a bid on it.
Out there.
Any questions on that one?
Is it an action item?
Action, yeah.
Yep, so we can get it
Yeah.
posted.
We wanna get it posted. If we can.
I'll make a motion, post RFP for the HVAC system.
You have a second on that? I'll support it. Roll call.
Commissioner Hughes,
Yes.
Commissioner Livermore,
Yes,
Commissioner Nettleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Rondo,
Yes,
Commissioner Seaver.
Yes. Discuss animal shelter RFPs. Needs to just consent.
Really quick.
Sure, you're on that board.
Yeah.
Committee.
So just wanna put it out there, see if we can. We checked with one established nonprofit, they want nothing to do with running our building as a satellite, so. In an attempt to get a nonprofit in there to help us, we wanna put it out there. To everybody to see if there's a nonprofit that's interested in partnering with us. Under our conditions.
Right.
So that's all it is just to get it out there to see if we can draw some interest to help us with running the shelter side of things there, so. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward on this one.
Any questions?
Consent. 11, reappoint Kelly and Joel, the Brownfield Authority for 3-year term. Expiring 12/31/28.
when did I agree to that?
No, it's
Congratulations.
Reappoint. Other jobs, other job duties as required in a book.
Consensus?
Yes.
Yeah,
Consensus. Number 12, 911 CAD system, that's the heavy one. Who wants to speak on that?
Heavy.
Well.
Um,
I'll have Matt speak on it. Go ahead, Matt.
Look. We need money. Yeah, yeah.
So do we.
Yeah.
you.
but I didn't see the, oh, there it is.
I forwarded that budget
Yeah,
and I should have condensed it down. I put, I just forwarded the one that was given to me. I could have condensed it down to where you could have just seen what Alger is paying.
that's what I'm looking for. It's on there, yeah.
So I know, but I recreated another one where I took everybody else out because I just don't care.
Right.
The short version is the first year, Alger will be paying $44,706.90. The second year is the big one.
Yeah.
And ask me why.
I'm assuming we got a big equipment purchase in the second year.
Why is the second one the big one?
Everybody's paying,
I've never won-
everybody's doubled the second year.
Everybody's is, and it's a bigger punch. What's the reason for it?
The reason being is that once we initiate the CAD, get everything started, it was decided as the group had thought, if we get the approval off the bat, that we'll take the hit earlier on than later on as times get tougher, you know, that's the biggest thing behind it. So we had options and we chose the second year to do the bigger of the payments and then downgrade from there.
Okay. That makes sense.
Where does it fit with our 911 funding?
We're very good. The biggest thing to remember on this has been budgeted. Pam and I have focused on this for quite a while. It's been budgeted. We put in $100,000 this year, not knowing the cost. It come in at 44,000. So this is budgeted in our budget. It's been budgeted and our 911 fund is healthy. This is, we don't have a choice here. If we go on our own, we lose the protection of the UP 911 authority. And it's just a huge upgrade to the new equipment coming in, and the whole UP is going to be upgraded. And this has been budgeted. It's been looked at for quite a few years, and Pam's been on top of it. She budgeted 100,000 for us this year, so we're more than good.
And we're good to take that second year big hit, right?
We'll put in another 100,000 and we'll be
Wait, I
tended.
know, I just
Yeah.
so that everybody
Yeah,
understands that
yeah.
we're not trying to find new money for this. The
No.
money's already.
No, we budgeted this knowing this day was coming.
Yep.
And started back when was Sheriff Hughes, when he was sheriff, that we saw this day coming and we've been putting money away and doing what we need to do. So
this will still be redundant, so if we went down, another county has the same equipment,
Yep.
could pick you up, you can pick them up.
And in fact, I don't know why, but we picked up Ross Common.
I saw
As
that,
part of this.
I saw that.
So,
If I may, so this program right here, the company that we've chosen in concept is if the entire UP, or Drops Commons will have the same exact pad. See, if we go down or we get hit real hard with weather, major catastrophe, market and pick up, and it's seamless. If we get whatever we set as parameter, 6, 8, 9, 10, 4, whatever we want, will automatically roll to the next unit, which is gonna be Marquette County. They have all of our. And if the state police gets a call that happens to be in Alger County, instead of calling, making an admin line call, a transfer call, and then us having to call back, it's all just gonna flow all the way across the AP. Interoperability is, it's the key to it, and that's the main reason for it.
Really no brainer.
and
Some money
yeah,
budgeted
it's
in
no-brainer.
this.
In addition,
For sure, I already knew the answer to my question, but I just wanted to make sure.
I have a question as to why the second year it doubles. Then it goes back down.
That was
What's the reason?
the actual provider gave us options of how we wanted to pay for it. They could have split it up even all the way, or take a bigger hit on the second year. Or we could have took a hit on the third or the fourth.
Correct.
Everybody decided to take a bigger hit on the second year.
Second year.
Drop from the interest out probably.
that way you feel pampered come the third year. Oh,
Yeah,
man, look at
fourth and
this. This is nice.
Is it only good for 5 years?
That's all we gotta pay.
No.
Then it's, once it's
We
paid
get
for,
5
it's paid
years
for.
Okay, so,
For the hardware. There, I do believe though, I'm still going, I haven't read my whole thing yet, I'm still digging through it, so.
That's right.
It is, it's a bit, I think, and he said the same thing.
And
But that's all right, you got the information.
they did turn this over to a law firm. Tyler's attorneys,
How we went through.
Right.
Is the company that is actually,
they've been going through it with a fine tooth comb, and I explained it to the other commissioner during the committee meeting that apparently there was some sort of incident in Grand Traverse County. And I don't know what that incident was, where their 911 went down, and the only reason that's relevant is they are mirroring this contract off of what the state police pulled apart to avoid an issue like that. So what the attorneys are doing for us is the same thing that the state police did. Says, we're not gonna have this happen for our system, so we need this taken out and this taken out. And apparently Tyler's been playing ball very nicely. So our attorneys are doing the same thing, that this is not gonna happen to us. So Dean wanted it printed out, so everybody got to share the joy on that, so.
Right, guys. That's all right.
But we're very confident that, I mean, the contract, some of it's gonna be boilerplate stuff, but it's gonna only benefit us.
They got here Alger County workstations too. I
Correct,
mean, we have 2 councils.
correct, we have 2 right
We have
now.
to have manpower for 2 councils.
no,
What do you mean? We're
Right now
gonna
we have
we're not-
manpower for 1 and then a backup with jail.
we're
Well-
keeping it as is right now.
Status quo.
It was a question, cause.
We train our deputies to answer the phone when the 911 dispatcher's on the
Is that
phone.
gonna come
Our
up
deputy
later
can
that
pick it up,
we
yeah.
have 2 councils, we have to man it with 2 people?
No, we don't right now. We do and we don't. We always have a backup there. We have 3
I know,
people in
we
the
got 3
control room.
people.
We'll still have 3 people.
We're not gonna be forced to add more, is what
No.
I'm asking. So,
Yeah.
Pam has done such a great job managing the monies on this. Quite honestly, we could pay for it in one scoop if we wanted to, but we're not going to. Cause you never know when emergencies happen, right, Pam?
That's right.
So,
Other questions? Consensus? Yeah. Consensus. Number 13, Joel says we need 8 new PCs for this year.
Next year.
Next year. That's what I said. It's inventory, so any questions on that?
Windows.
Huh?
yeah,
Mandatory or forced obsolescence, I guess we'll call it.
yeah.
Question, consensus? 14 Q-pad dues, 94.50. No change from last year.
So,
Consensus?
Yes.
15 opioid settlement steering committee bylaws.
Why is that?
They look pretty straightforward in there, too.
This is. No.
No, that's not, oh no, that's.
Not in the,
Even the one we had to go off of wasn't that thick.
No, I think you kept it pretty simple, pretty
You made a book
straightforward.
out of that.
Yes. We really kept it down to just
a.
a real advisory.
the
No,
more you put in there, the
the
more.
more complicated,
Uh,
and we want that to be our problem, not our advisor's problem. They have jobs, like, things they need to do that they don't need.
I wouldn't keep myself.
Put restraints on it, the more you put in there.
Yeah, so that's more of our decision to make on it.
It looks like there's enough of them.
Yeah, and that's the simple version.
Yeah,
I know.
Any questions on it?
I went over it, he's went over it, we did.
I read
again.
through it, I didn't see anything.
Consensus?
Yeah.
16, jail inmate care budget. Joel?
Excuse me. So there's two big components, right? There's the advanced correctional healthcare increases. And then the unknown of the Blue Cross payments. And I guess thirdly, the setting the budget itself to be maybe what in hindsight is too little. That's on me for the 24 and 25 budgets.
We see it, it would not take the whole play yourself,
But
but
125 was definitely too low. Next year I have 165. Which if we go at the same rate, could end up being too low again, but I mean, where does it end?
Your crystal ball is only just so good, so
we can,
we know you're using the best numbers you got to try and.
So what exactly is this for?
when you lock somebody up and they need care, we gotta pay for it.
We pay for the nurse.
Inmate has chest pains, we take them to hospital.
Take 'em to ER.
Unfortunately, if psychiatric care probably falls under here too. We have an inmate with suicidal tendencies, get them to psychiatric care and it's the bill that they send. We operate under our ACH, Advanced Correctional Healthcare. They basically tell us, take this inmate to the hospital. Or don't take the inmate to the hospital. So the liability is on them. Because we're not physicians and nurses and so we count on, we have a physician on call, we have a nurse on call, we have a nurse that comes to the jail 12 to 14 hours a week. Healthcare services when needed is part of our cost, but when they tell us to send an inmate, we say no. Something happens to that inmate, this cost goes to,
That's on us.
Start adding zeros.
yeah, we
Yeah.
add many zeros.
Yeah, before the decimal.
I see this and I cringe every time I see it because I think, man, that's a lot of money to spend. But it's the cost of
It takes up to do business.
doing business with inmates.
So how many, jail beds do you have?
We have 50 beds. We could house up to 52. Our average daily count's about 33. But Marquette County, House and some now in Luce County, we don't pay anything for them. Those counties pay their own medical bills. These are strictly Alger County inmates.
But does that include, like you have to hire, people to be deputies to run it?
No,
That's-
we hire this company, Alger Correctional Healthcare. That's their cost up top. And they make the determination where these other costs on the bottom would come in. When to take them to the hospital. And the only Blue Cross plan only kicks in when they get seen or when they get treated. The mental health, I'll bet you 8 or 9 out of 10 of our inmates have mental health needs right now.
Yeah.
And them medicines are very expensive.
This right here,
And
this is just for the nurses.
we simply don't have a choice. Yeah.
Oh,
Our
absolutely.
correctional people are not nurses, they can't make that
Yes, I
decision.
know.
And then this is what it costs us to do what they told us to do. In 25.
Yeah,
But that's a long way for $1,299,000.
Where do you see one?
that's the deal.
That's the whole jail, that's what it
Well,
costs.
that's what I'm asking about.
Oh,
Oh, I heard it was just the inmate.
The whole jail budget is 1,299,000.
Yeah,
That's everything. That's the whole,
Yeah,
every penny that goes into it.
that's only 11 months from what I got here. You're gonna be in a deficit by the end of the year. And
Possible,
so,
possible. The jail is almost an impossible thing to predict.
but
If
don't
I
you-
could predict 20 inmates on next January, I'll budget 20 inmates. We may end up with 44 inmates. It's just a real, we only staff it with 2 corrections staff and 1 911 operator. The problem when the jail budget gets out of control is when we have increase in inmates of our own and we have to call on staff. Sick time is always an issue. We probably have $40,000 of overtime or more. If you look at it, it's nature of the beast with them guys. They're exposed to every disease, stressor involved. I'm working in a county jail. It's, as Sheriff Hughes will attest, next to impossible to predict. We've done pretty good to stay as close as we have, and I give Joel and Pam credit for that because they've worked with me close on it, but I can't control that. When they got to call in overtime, I can't control it.
So what do you charge Lewis County for a bed?
Lewis County pays $42 a bed and Marquette County is paying $45 a bed.
they pay also, they pay all the old
Their
medical.
old men.
Do they pay for the deputy and all that, but oversees them?
If the
Is that
deputy
included
has,
in that?
yeah,
No.
the deputy has to
No.
bring them to the hospital, they pay.
Yes,
that
yes,
deputy.
yes.
Or they send somebody.
Or they send
From
their
their
own.
agency, we don't get involved in that.
No,
The only cost incurred on the Marquette County, Lewis County inmates is the meals we feed them. And that meals are $1.60 a meal times 3 meals a day. It's at $4.80. We charge off the 45 is what, so we make $40 a day off Marquette County and we make 37 off Lewis County.
Right.
So it's the only charge for the extra inmates.
That's how that works.
Yep, that's how it works.
It just seems like $1,299,000 for a county of 8,800 people. It's damn high.
Yeah,
Do we have that much crime in our county?
yeah, I would say we do. It's getting there. Prosecutor could answer on
We
that.
charge that much crime.
Yeah.
That's a huge number, Commissioner.
It is.
I appreciate that, but I don't think it's out of the ordinary, for the facility that we have, the quality of frankly, law enforcement that manages that facility. And the service it does for the citizens. One of my worries is that we fill in this thing with other counties inmates. We should be filling it with Alger County's inmates, but I don't get to make those decisions. I can only argue for them in court. But I don't think that the number, I mean, that's my opinion. I don't think the numbers are out of whack.
No.
It's just a big number because that's our
No.
biggest expense as a county.
Yeah,
two
it always
people,
has been.
24/7 is.
Yep.
With vacation, you're looking at almost 12 employees just to man that.
Take an 8-hour budget over here, take your biggest 8-hour
Point
budget,
of order,
and it's
we're
probably.
way off the agenda item, we need to get back to the agenda, this is not the agenda item we're on, folks.
Jail inmate care is we're talking about, but.
Not so, I'm saying, not saying it's something we can't talk about, but it's not the item we're on discussion here, so we're out of order.
So on the jail healthcare, Nick, the history on that is before we didn't have a company doing our healthcare for us. And every inmate comes in, has to have healthcare. And everyone would come in and say, I wanna go to this doctor, I wanna go to that doctor, I wanna go to this doctor, cause that's my doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go to those doctors and those doctors would keep them all on all their medicines, whether they were needed or not. And when you contract with a jail healthcare facility and an inmate comes there, now they are under the purview of your jail doctor. And your jail doctor will start down at the bottom of the ladder and determine what medicines they need to stay on. And whether or not it's an abusive medicine inside the facility that they don't need to be on, and saves you money right from the start on prescriptions. And then they are seen for screening by your jail nurse when they come in, and they can follow up and stuff. But times have changed too, where the types of inmates you're getting are
more intensive on their medical needs. Some observations I see over there is a number of diabetics that are going in there that need more intensive care, more intensive medications and other types of that. So it's not a surprise to me that even though this is a cost saving thing, it's not a surprise to me to see it go up. And I know it's Michael's point of order, but Bruce County and your Market County, that's not a cost to the county, that's a revenue, period. That's what it is, because it doesn't cost the county any more in staffing. That's not paid for, and it's a revenue.
The only thing I looked at that, and if I showed that to my neighbors, they would go
Yeah.
ballistic.
Right.
I think if any county jail around the Peace showed their costs to their neighbor, you would have that same feeling, because society doesn't normally like to spend money in those areas. Unfortunately, we have to. I mean, that's just, and
this is far better than the old piecemeal system.
Yeah. yeah,
Another quick statement on that
Yeah.
is when I served on the school board. We saw our student enrollment drop over the years, and every school drops.
Yeah.
And, you know, what comes to my mind is what my superintendent told me. You know, but it's gonna cost us the same to heat this building and turn the lights on, whether we have 100 students or we have 20 students. The building is still the building. And that's basically what we got here.
we budgeted just under $400,000 revenue for next year from our Moose County. That's the revenue.
That's revenue.
If we lost that revenue,
Well, thank you for that. Clear that up for me.
yeah, no, good questions. I look at that too, and every time I see the medical, I cringe.
But this is 10% of the money.
Yeah.
And. You know, we can budget the first half, the second half. That can be, who knows, just on the looks here, you got from 3,500 to 11,500. It can vary that much. So I think Joel's looking for a direction of what the board wants to put in there for the budget, right?
Like I said, next year I got 165, which is,
Yeah, it's 2024.
I think right now we're at like 158. But
So you've increased it over this year's.
the two big components too, if you look in there was, so there's obviously supplies and pens and prescriptions and other things that are buried in that inmate healthcare line that aren't on this little breakdown. This one is just, you know, the two big ones. One being very unpredictable, the Blue Cross, and the other consistently seeing increases. They slapped a, I don't know, like a 7% increase or something on the advanced correctional. But it didn't help having last year, the numbers are skewed because there's two 2023s for the advanced correctional. So there's 13 payments in there because December was put in this year. So this year, I stress we need to be very diligent about getting January through December billed in the correct years so that going forward, we get a more predictable or accurate, at least, expenditures data. But it's still going to fluctuate depending on which inmates you have. You know, if we average 6,000 to 8,000, but then you wind up with inmates that are pulling, you know, Blue Cross 12,000 a month. Well, you know, how do you predict that you're gonna have an extra $4,000 a month? You know, like I said, you could put $200,000 into the inmate care, and would it be enough? You know, if you have a real bad year like that, it could still go over. So, you know, try not to lowball it too much, but yeah,
They have health problems and we banned them.
No.
Release on them
It's
and.
not an original thought. Trust me.
All right.
Well, thank you for that. I
Yeah.
didn't realize it was that for help would be that high,
Yeah.
but
Are you looking for a?
no, I think it is what it is right now, you know, and
All right, what you putting in there, you thinking for 26,
65.
165?
I think that's a fair number, not, no, I think.
And then the increase in the meals too, so it was. Yeah, you can only go so far with it.
Yeah, that means nothing Up to 17. Letter of legal counsel. Regarding outstanding autopsy report, that's to you, Mike.
So,
If you're wrong.
and Bob, you probably have managed to catch up. We still have 5 outstanding death certificates in Alger County from when Dr. David Stockman was our medical examiner. We have exhausted all our direct avenues. The state has exhausted their avenues. They've ignored a subpoena from the state to produce the records. Like I say in the letter, my personal opinion at this point is he never completed the reports. But even if the report wasn't completed, somewhere there are notes either written or recorded, most likely recorded during the autopsy, which can then be used by our current medical examiner to complete. We got to find out what our next recourse is to try and get him to turn any kind of records over, even if it's not the full autopsy report, any records relating to these 5 pending death certificates. One of these families has been waiting since October of last year of 2024 for a finalized death certificate. Still says pending from October of 2024. This is horrible toll on these families waiting for this. So basically, we're asking this letters to our civil counsel to ask their advice on next steps. What do you got for us? What options you got for us to try and get some remedy to this? So. Are there questions?
Can we, remove them, but I can get, do an autopsy on them? Okay.
Well,
I mean,
some of them it's not possible.
I mean,
Several of them have been cremated, so that's not an option to go back and redo the autopsies.
I should know.
No, that's a legitimate question. It
Is, would that help any of them out?
would not help, 2024 one. Yeah.
Well, you're saying there's 5 of them.
There's 5 in total for the county.
Sounds like night.
We're hoping that the civil council can come up with something to help.
I'd like that.
My personal option is I don't think that I don't honestly think he'll respond to anything that our civil council does. My only hope at that point would be that he ignores so many court filings and court orders that we can get a judge to issue a warrant for him. Either for contempt or to show cause or something, so that he can be physically taken into custody.
Yeah. And see,
I think that's the only way we're ever gonna get.
Can we do that in our court?
That's what we're gonna find out from our attorneys.
We're just inquiring about it.
Well, I'd like to have a consensus that we move forward with our attorney on that.
Yep, we got our
Consensus. Consensus on it?
Yeah, again, though.
Consensus.
I'm telling.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Yes, please.
So I read through the letter and MIFSM, are they non-existent at this point?
My knowledge, they are no longer needed
They've
as a
created-
functioning company.
They don't even have a phone number.
And then, do you know if anybody has filed a Laura complaint?
Yes,
regarding that already?
that's whose subpoena they ignored.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that is whose subpoena they ignored. But yes, we have filed a Lara complaint. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I was just curious. So,
Yep.
okay. Thank you.
19 Cosmers, Division 33.
I think we need 18 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that were procedures and fees, so I just looked at that.
Just rolled all together on you.
Yeah.
Consensus.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward for record. Yep.
Okay, now we're 19. Cosmers, Division 33. Go on that.
Well, it came up during the exec negotiations about, you know, having that open division for electeds, and
Okay, yeah.
if you know, back in the discussion of equity of pay between the public defender and the prosecutor, it was discussed that when you include retirements, so they'll never, they would never technically ever be able to be on par because one has DC and one would have a pension. So I don't know if this board, I don't want to speak for you, but just the idea that there was still an open pension division, I don't know if that even crossed your minds, but it did come up during the negotiations, and that's where the determination was made. It's time to just close it and have all employees on, going forward,
I'm saying
hiring on the DC.
New people will not be, there'll be direct contributions. Was our recommendation anyhow out of the committee, so.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Any questions on
Not be irresponsible.
consensus?
I'm still lost on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are we doing
So-
here?
The elected officials,
Yeah.
pension division is still open. So if Dole resigned tomorrow, the next clerk is still eligible to pick up into the pension program instead of the directed kind of, so they do like the 401k programs. They would still be eligible to enroll in the. Oh, I had the, what's the,
Defined benefit.
yeah, into the actual pension.
Into MERS.
MERS, there you go, thank you.
Into
I
MERS.
had it.
Right.
Well, the DC is still through MERS.
Yeah.
It's just a 401 style, so it's a matching employer percentage.
Better-
We only got rid of pensions, except for appointed.
Except for the elected.
And elected officials.
Right.
So it's the only thing we still have.
So if he resigned right now and we had to appoint somebody,
They would be
even though
eligible.
they've never, they're brand new, zero time,
They're eligible.
they're eligible for the pension.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna consent on that one.
Yeah.
That's a fight that I had when I was appointed sheriff and I had to hire an attorney. To get the same pension that,
Cause you got hired
my
after,
predecessor.
There's a-
after the pension was
The
deleted.
predecessor, no, MERS was still. Murders, there was still pensions and. I remember the fight that I had and I remember my attorney's recommendations that. You know, if you're offering the clerk, treasurer, sheriff, whatever, right now. It doesn't change till the new person steps in. That was, forget what the word is, but what my attorney found out and, yeah. Right now, I'd want more information before I get my consent.
So I look at it same as just like any employee right now, anybody over in the sheriff, I'm picking on the sheriff over there, corrections. You got some old ones there that's been there with a pension. But we got some in there that doesn't have a pension. You know, they're both corrections, they're both in the same job, it's just the unions cut that off. And the county did at a certain point. I gotta say myself, pensions will ruin eventually businesses and counties. The amount of money that has to go out in pensions, it's staggering on the money side. Yes, it's good for the employees, I'm not against that, but it's staggering to have to pay for it.
In fact, that's our only division left.
So, but it's not under consensus, so it'll be on a line item next week.
Active,
Any questions on that?
almost $1 million.
I don't really understand it either, so.
I'll give you a quick though, like Joel,
Mhm.
he's on the pension, he was hired before while I was
Yep,
still on.
yep.
If he resigns right now and we appoint somebody in his position that's never worked for the county, they're still eligible for the pension.
Okay, I got you.
We want to get out of that.
The defined benefit.
Yes,
Yeah, now I mean, that is up to discussion is to get out of that, is to close that door. so
Move to
nobody can-
401k style retirement.
Pensioner.
But that'll be on a line item
Yep, next week.
next week.
So everybody's got some time.
Number 20, emergency adopt agreement amendment.
I didn't see that.
It would be the next step because you'd have to amend They can't do the new paperwork. They're switching to some online Empower portal or whatever. So
So we don't need that until next week.
Right,
yeah,
that's,
this would be what you have to do to,
if we decide to.
Got
yeah, rename the existing 401, all employees hired
Make
after
that
the.
one too as a final.
So
Well, they go hand in hand.
so we're not gonna have consent on that either.
No, it's, you can't do one without the other.
21 non-sufficient fund policy. We want to bring that back down to $25, was it?
Back down.
No, this is what we do now.
Well, wasn't
If we
it
get
higher
it-
than that?
Yeah, we did. And then I found out we couldn't have it that high.
I said, it's down, it's like.
We're getting back to where we're supposed to be.
Right, and district court was being audited and their auditors needed our policy, but we didn't have one. So I just thought we would make it official and just do one.
I apologize. I would like to request a minor change. When Prosecutor Barman was here, she changed the policy, never got recorded, but we don't take non-sufficient funds like checks or anything in our office anymore. So my hope is that we can change it in the policy, the word prosecuting attorney, and change that to law enforcement. So that way it can be reported to any law enforcement agency who will then report it by affidavit to our office and retain the evidence. You're only looking at that though. And retain the evidence in their own evidence bins. We've gone through file audits where we pulled old files and it's like, there's a check for $500 right here in our office. And I don't like having evidence in my office. It's important to belongs with guys that
Make
have
that
evidence,
change in it.
not the guys that are lawyers.
Procedure.
Yep. So it's just a minor tweak to the policy that actually worked out.
Anybody see any problems with that?
No.
Consensus with the changes?
Yeah, we'll make that change. Joel,
So just changing it to law enforcement?
Everybody knows what to do.
you have that one.
Personal policy revision.
It's big, so if you need more time, we can just make that an item for next week too.
Why don't we put that on a separate item?
Sure.
That gives
The
us.
personnel policy, and it's like 1,600. It's a monster.
You're just looking for suggestions from us, or you?
I was comfortable with how you went over it with that, but.
I can understand. There's a lot of red lines, so.
Yeah, but I was comfortable with it. Yeah.
I think it's a PDF now, or it's so it should be easier to read.
It didn't open for me very well. You gave me a paper copy, and when I looked at it,
It was a doc file, and if you open it on your computer without Word, it's all screwy. And,
It wasn't red.
So.
yeah, I couldn't see the red line.
Next week.
You want that next week line item?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, all right. Go to, all right, cost saving ideas, revenue sources. Anybody? Hello?
Well, just say the sheriff's department just keep bringing in revenue, so thank you.
It's budget season, we've been squeezing everybody.
That's the revenue. I want to hear the cost savings part now too.
Well,
One thing
well,
at a
their
time.
savings, their windows are just updated, so they're saving money on heating.
You go come down a little bit. Yeah.
That's, yeah.
You want to hear the bad part of that though?
Oh.
You said cost savings.
We still gotta do something with the heat there because it's always on. There's no real, that's another, we have to look at in the future. I think after we get this heat there, that.
Okay, so you're
gonna be
going to work
connected.
on the cost savings heating for the.
I think it,
Thermostats?
no, we're pumping.
So,
Yeah, it should be.
Honestly, sometimes it's so warm in the winter,
You go in
you
there.
got, people's got their windows open.
We do.
To cool down. So we're heating it just to cool, to have the windows. So that's, if we fix it, it'll save money.
There's a valve somewhere.
There is.
Don't ask me.
And if there's not, we're gonna need to put one in it. That's the thing.
My understanding is they're not.
Yeah.
Problem.
There's lots of thermostats.
It's either on or it's off.
Right. Where are they going to work?
Every thermostat you have over in that building, to my understanding, it means nothing.
Right.
Because the pump over here is either on or it's off. That's it.
Todd Bob will remember too, when we insulated the block, our A block, which is our old block, that was always cold. It ran all the time, but it was always cold. And then when you had I'll spray foam and then sheet it, now you can't control it. It is literally hot. You walk the catwalk and you walk out, you're drenched.
Well,
We're aware of it.
right.
Any finished business?
None.
Financial matters, board bills, financial report for all funds, budget amendments, and established funds. Any questions on A through D? Consensus?
Consensus.
Resolutions?
None.
None. Committee report. Bob, been at any committees yet?
Yeah, we had a committee. Nothing, to report other than going back to that personnel file, see that. When you gave it to me, I was right. No, we can look at that.
Mike?
Animal shelter, ceilings are in. And we're finally warming up in there. We were a little worried there for a while, but now that the blocks have heated back up, we're staying low 60s and back in the kennels, so. Yeah, it was dropping down, it was 53, 52. We're getting real close to having to do something drastic to try and get more heat in, but now that the ceilings are in, and they'll be in tomorrow, supposed to be in tomorrow to build the additional layer of 6 inches of insulation into the ceiling now too, so that should also help, and then. So some of the little, right now we can't use the outside kennel doors, because they block them all with insulation to try and cut that north wind down from getting in and stuff, so. Yeah, so that's going well, the lights, electrician said the lights should be in this week, so then he'll come in and get those in for us, and then. We can get moving on some of the other. Projects and working on getting some more volunteers in there too to help take care of dogs and stuff, so it's. Now we got puppies that are getting bigger. On the good note, one of our long-term members got adopted last week, so he's now down in northern Ohio. Yeah, one of our volunteers was able to go part way, and they were going downstate anyhow, so they were able to meet the new owner, and yeah, they sent us some pictures. I should have sent them and shared, but yeah. So the Australian Shepherd mix is loving life and living on a white couch. They may rethink that eventually, but right now. So good things there.
I have, all we have is, my early month. Health department, so got canceled. Yep. So I don't have anything until later this month. Same here.
I had a Q pad and the only thing that really is worrisome is just trying to get quorum. We were off by one person to be able to adopt the budget, and it's just one of those things, like, and we're having the same issue with some of the other. You were gone, but all of Alger County but you showed up. No, I mean, there was a whole county that didn't show at all, you know, like, we do well, make sure we get there, right?
Try.
So that's just the biggest thing is, you know, I think that. We're looking to get somebody else from the village of Chatham, that's one that the Rushford. Hasn't been to QPAD and with a few of others.
Yeah.
We're trying to see about maybe seeing if there's somebody else from the village of Chatham that would like to step into any positions. And then we had another brainstorming, going over all the stuff for the materials management.
I think I want.
That's still so complicated, but we're getting somewhere. We're making headway.
You can do the traffic.
But I will say, was he had kind of taken it over in the beginning of the year, and then I jumped back in the last 2 meetings, I've come right up and I'm really starting to understand. Just how complicated it is. Understanding it, not so much, but I understand how complicated it is. And getting everybody to work together is difficult, so. But we're showing up. Otherwise, rest of my stuff will be this week.
Correspondent. Texas Roadhouse for the CAM, 10% donate night. What day is it? Wednesday, December 17th. 3 to 10%, they're gonna donate 10%. 3 to 8 p.m. They're gonna donate 10% of the cost, it looks like, of his total food purchase to Alger Marquette Community Action. We have County of Marquette, they're doing management and development department, planning division. And I can update their master plans or request any participation from us. We've had Michigan, what is that, Risk Management Authority.
Distribution of net assets.
Yeah, 42,797.
Every year,
Value for asking for donation.
Goes into the retention fund.
But we don't get
And
space in that.
and that's it.
That's going to 4.5. It's no, just put it right in there. We need it.
Right.
Board comments, Kelly, the terms you listen. Vicky?
Yeah, I'm good, and thanks for the sheriff's department, explaining that stuff to me.
I'm good. Mike?
I'd like to thank all the staff for working on us with the budget and, you know, even the ones that didn't go smoothly at first, I'm glad we've been able to keep it professional still and work through it and get to a good end for everybody. So thank you. Appreciate it very much.
I don't have it. Joel?
Yeah, thank you, everybody. It was kind of a stressful last couple of weeks. A little
I'm
bit.
sorry.
Yeah.
Man?
I don't have anything.
Sheriff? Matt? We're good. Ted? Robbie?
It's not gonna be that easy. Just a couple things. I want to thank Commissioner Nelson and our animal control officer, Eric Artress. Last week we had an incident with some animals and there was no questions asked. They were right there for me to support me and support my office. And I can tell you that takes a huge load off of us when we're in court, know that resource is available for our citizens. I'm gonna be handling a couple of prosecutions in Dickinson County in the next couple of weeks, which is exciting. It's good to get out and see some new attorneys, new judges. It helps our office, so we're charging it all to Dickinson County. So that's also good. But we're really excited to get over there and conduct a jury trial 2 days before Christmas. But I think we're gonna have a enlightening time doing that. And then the last thing was a good meeting. That was a real pleasure to watch.
Lily?
Nothing, just, thank you, and just a comment on the jail. I had some experience with many jails across the UP. And I would say that by far, the jail here does their absolute best that they can for clients, and not meeting they're catering to unnecessary requests or something. It's more of like the bare minimum is important. And the bare minimum is very low in other places and it causes a detriment. It's not that here whatsoever. And I'm greatly appreciated for that. So thank you.
Our public?
She's staff.
Your staff?
I have one with comments.
Been staff longer than anybody else. Oh,
Well, you have to end the staff and get the public.
I'm
What do you
sorry.
want?
I'm sorry.
I just wanted to say, last week was very stressful. I've been stressing and had a migraine since then. So but thank you for approving the 3%. To me, it's very sad that I've given 23 years to the county and then I'm still like the lowest paid. As of right now, new hires who most aren't sticking around, come in making what I make, if not more, and or get more hours. So this last week has been very stressful for me of deciding, do I continue to give my time, or not, or would I be better off retiring? I'm very confident not to my own horn or anything, but you could place me in any other court position and I'm very confident I could rock it out with very little training. You know, when new magistrates come in or new district courts, that they all come to me for what they're supposed to do. And I'm glad that they ask questions because I want that. But it's just, it's very sad that I can be here for this long and make nothing. I mean, I work 3 to 4 other jobs. Sorry, I cried. Just to continue going. You know, and really I shouldn't have to work that much. And I don't overly spend. But it's just sad to me. But the biggest thing is I wanted to say is thank you for being so polite to us. We've never had a board be polite to us before. And I think that's part of the stress. We've always been yelled at or degraded. And every time we come before you guys, you're so polite to us. And I wanted to make sure that you were aware of that.
Thank you.
Thank you, yeah.
And if I may, I believe we've already stated our intention to work on that for next year's negotiations. We get things more where they should be, so, thank you.
Did it? Okay.
It's
Adjourned.
stressful.